Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So for this survey, our group are doing surveys on the factors determine the choice of a smartphone among accounting student for the second semester in UiTM Dunguin. So for the next part, which is introduction, background of study. So our team is very interested in learning how UiTM students in accounting for second semester choose their smartphone. All students must learn at home, or what we refer as home-based learning and teaching, or PDPR, due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Everyone is new to PDPR, so we need to give the students and also the teachers time for them to adjust. The benefits of online education is that it allows the student to attend classes from wherever they want. And also, educators can employ a variety of online learning tools such as videos, PDPF, or podcasts as part of their lessons preparations. Next, teachers can become more efficient educators by expanding their lesson plans beyond standard textbook to include online resources. As a result, teachers must maintain their online lesson concise, interesting, and interactive in order to keep students focused on that topic. Therefore, if we detect any issues among the students at the end of the survey, we will notify the lecturers or Hal Ehwal Pelajar (HEP) so that they can intervene to assist the students who are in trouble. Giving a new smartphone to a student is an example of an effort they can take to ensure that the students can learn without difficulty. The value of the smartphone will not be a problem because the university's concern is more significant to students. So for the next part, which is objective of the study. First, to figure out who the respondents are. Second, to find out which smartphone brands the respondents are currently using. Third, to figure out how much current respondents' smartphone costs. Fourth, to discover what the respondents' existing smartphones' weaknesses are. Fifth, to determine whether or not the respondents desire to upgrade their device. And the last one is to find out what features they could expect from the new smartphones.
Three things, which is the population, sample, and a sampling frame. Population, there are 62 accounting students for the second semester accounting in UiTM Dungun. For the sample, there are 58 accounting students for the second semester of accounting in UiTM Dungun. And last is a sampling frame, which is a list of 62 accounting students for the second semester of UiTM Dungun. How to choose the sample? There is 4 simple steps on how to choose the sample. First, write down a number 1 until 62 on a small slip paper. And step 2, put on all the small slip paper in the box. Step 3, all the slip paper are in the box. So the last step is, the first choice is made by selecting a paper in the box without looking at it.
Next, questionnaire design and method to analyze data. We have 6 questions. And we have objectives, variable involved, level of measurement, and method of analysis. First objective is to figure out who the respondents are. And the variable involved is the question for group, which are A, B, and C. Level of measurement is nominal, and method of analysis is frequency distribution. Second objective is to find out which smartphone brand the respondents are currently using. And the question is, what brand of the smartphone are you using now? We have iPhone, Vivo, Samsung, Huawei, Oppo, Realme, and others. Level of measurement for this question is also nominal, and method of analysis is pie chart. Third objective is to figure out how much current respondents' smartphone costs. The question is, how much is the price of your smartphone? We have price range with 800 to 1000, 1000 to 2000, 2000 to 4000, and 500. Level of measurement is ordinal, and method of analysis we are using histogram. Objective 4. To discover what the respondents' existing smartphones' weaknesses are. Question 4. What are the weaknesses of your current smartphone? And the answer, we have not up to date, poor storage capacity, poor battery life, slow feature phones, and poor cooling system. Level of measurement for this question is nominal, and we are using pie chart. 5. To determine whether or not respondents desire to upgrade their devices. Question 5. If you get the chance, do you want to buy a new smartphone? And we have the answer yes or no. And the level of measurement is also nominal, and we are using single bar chart. And the last question, objective is to find out what features they could expect from the new smartphones. The question is, if yes, What are the features that you want from the smartphones? Fast charging, expandable storage, can use for mobile games, good camera quality, user-friendly, and privacy prioritized. The level of measurement also nominal, and we are using single bar chart.
The 58 accounting students for the second semester who have been chosen are then requested to respond to their questionnaire via an online survey. Google Form is used to conduct the online survey. The usage of an online survey saves a lot of time and energy and is also less expensive. So here is the link for our survey.
For the respondent identities, which consists from 29.3% of Group A, 32.8% of Group B, and 37.9% of Group C. Majority of the respondents are from Group C, which is 37.9%, while the rest from Group A and Group B. To determine which smartphone brand the respondent currently using, we choose the pie chart. According to the pie chart above, the majority of the respondents currently using the iPhone brand, which is 41%, while the rest use brand following above.
3.3. Determine the cost for the current respondent's smartphone. So for this question, we are doing histogram because of this question is about quantitative data. So for this graph, it shows that 17 students are afford the smartphone they are using now for 800 until less than 1,000 ringgit, while 32 students can afford the smartphone they are using now for 1,000 until less than 2,000, while 9 students can afford that by 2,000 until less than 4,500 ringgit. So for the next part, which is a measure of central tendency, the first one is mean. So the first price range is 800 until less than 1,000. Number of students is 17 and the midpoint is 900. The second one is 1,000 until less than 2,000 and the number of students is 32 and the midpoint is 1,500. And the last one is 2,000 until 4,500 and the number of students is 9. The midpoint are 3,250. So we have provide all of the formulas that using in mean. So the final answer for mean is 1,595 ringgit 69 cent, and for the interpretation on the average of the price of the current smartphone divides from the mean as much as 1,595 ringgit 69 cents. So for the next part, which is the second one, is mode. So for the price range 800 until less than 1,000, the class boundary is 800 until 1,000. 1,000 until less than 2,000, the class boundary is 1,000 until 2,000, and the last one is 2,000 until less than 4,500. The class boundary is 2,000 until 4,500. So the numbers of the students are still the same, and we also provide the formulas that use for mode, and the last answer is 1,394 ringgit 74 cent. So the interpretation for this mode is majority of the students spend 1,394 ringgit 74 cents to buy their current smartphones. So the last part for measure of central tendency, which is median. So all of the three position, we are include the formulas that are using. So for the first position, the final answer is 970 ringgit 59 cents, and the interpretation is 25% of the students are spent more or less than Rm 970 ringgit 59 cents to buy their smartphones they are using now. And for the second position or median, the final answer is 1,375 ringgit. So for the interpretation, 50% or half of the students spend more or less than Rm 1,375 ringgit to buy their smartphone they are using now. So for the last position, which is the third position, the final answer is 1,828 ringgit 12 cents, and the interpretation is 75% of the students spend more or less than 1,828 ringgit 12 cents to buy their smartphones they are using now. The second last part that we are doing is a measure of dispersion. The first one is a variance. So the final answer for variance is 581,603 ringgit 90 cents. So for the last one, for this part is standard deviation. So for the standard deviation's final answer is 762 ringgit 63 cents. All the formulas are provided here. So for the last part, for this question, we want to measure the skewness. So the formula that we use is mean minus mode over standard deviation. So the final answer for this question is 0.2634, which is a positive skewed. So I think that's it for this question.
The number of respondents based on their smartphone weaknesses are in the following table. Not up to date is 6, poor storage capacity and poor battery life is 19, slow features phone is 8, and last is a poor cooling system is 17. So the total is 59%. So this slide is showing the pie chart of the respondents' smartphone weaknesses. As you can see, the not up to date is 9%, the poor capacity storage and the poor battery life is equal, which is 27%, and the slow feature phones is 12%, and lastly is the poor cooling system is 25%. The majority of the respondents' smartphone weaknesses are equal between the poor battery life and the poor capacity storage.
3.5. Determine respondents' desire to upgrade to a new smartphone. Number of respondents based on their desire to upgrade to a new smartphone are in the table 3.4. We have 58 respondents and 51 of them choose yes and 7 of them choose no. For 3.5.1, this is our single bar chart for respondents' desire to upgrade to a new smartphone. Based on this single bar chart, we can see that majority of the respondents have a desire to buy a new smartphone and only a few respondents prefer to keep using their current smartphones. 3.6. Determine the features they expect from new smartphone. Number of respondents based on features they expect from new smartphone are in the table 3.5. We have fast charging, expandable storage, can use for mobile games, good camera quality, user-friendly, and privacy prioritized. And the total of respondents is 51. 3.6.1. Single bar chart for the features the respondents expect from new smartphones. Based on this single bar chart, we can see that 51 of 58 respondents have a desire to change their smartphones, and according to the bar chart above, the majority of the respondents want good camera quality for their new smartphones, which is 20 respondents. Next, 10 respondents want fast charging and 8 respondents need expandable storage for their new smartphones. Smartphones for gamers are needed by 5 respondents. Lastly, we got the same figure for user-friendly and privacy prioritized features, which are 4 respondents each.
From the finding above, we can conclude that most of the factors that students choose their smartphone is because they want the good camera quality. Student is using the brand of iPhone, and the price of student smartphone is affordable, which is between 1,000 ringgit Malaysia until 2,000 ringgit Malaysia. Majority, the weaknesses that occur on their phone are equal between the poor capacity storage and the poor battery life. Only 7 of our 58 students were satisfied with their smartphone and didn't want to buy a new smartphone. So we can conclude here most of the students are not satisfied with their smartphone and wanted to buy a new smartphone. Accordingly, if the student want to buy a new smartphone, they should ensure that all the features that they want are included into the smartphone. So that's all. Thank you for watching.